Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the open book. This is your host, Lakeisha, and I hope everyone had a fabulous Sunday. I missed you all this morning. Oh my goodness. My husband had to go and play drums at another church, and so the timing was a little off with the service that we usually watch. And I really, really missed you all on our Sunday worship service, but I believe I'll be back next week with that. Today just been kind of chilling. I almost took a nap, but my kids just won't let me be great. Okay. I was like, well, you know what? Let me just get on up. Okay. Since I can't go to sleep right now. The good part is we have an extra day. Okay. Shout out to everybody that's off tomorrow. All right. But I thank y'all for tuning in this evening. Make sure that you hit the like button and let's see who we have in here so far. Hey, Shelly Shell. Hey, sis. Look, you the first one in here today. Okay. Hey, sis. Hey, Mama Three. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Steph. We've been missing you. Welcome, sis. Thank you for joining. Let's see. Shelly Shell said, hit that like. All right. We have Miss Mel keeping it cute. She said she's going to keep it cute today. Okay. It was hard earlier, but she's going to keep it cute. Hey, Charlene. Welcome. Brittany is in the house. Thank you for joining. Humble Me Hype Queen Unique is in the house. Rebecca Boo is in the house. Thank you so much for joining, sis. Raw Truth Uncut. Hey, sis. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Okay, so welcome to everyone that is joining, that's in the bushes. I appreciate you all tuning in tonight. We'll be brief with this live, but I really wanted to join in on this conversation because this is a conversation that is near and dear to my heart. Hey, Alicia. Hey, sis. Thank you for joining. Near and dear to my heart. And I wanted to shed some light on it from my perspective, and not just my perspective, but millions of other women in the world, okay, that have probably this perspective. Now, right around April Fool's Day, okay, a lot of people will play the infamous "I'm pregnant" joke, right? They have the sonograms, and I think I've even done it before too. You know, you have your fake sonograms posted. You telling people, guess what? Some people put the little turkey. We do the one with the turkey right around Thanksgiving. They put the one with the turkey. Okay, talking about guess what? And so people are guessing that you're pregnant, or without them even looking at the turkey, baby, it's close to Thanksgiving. Okay, it's not that I'm pregnant. I'm getting happy about that turkey and the ham that we're about to partake. Okay. Some people don't even see that it's a turkey. They just see a sonogram picture. But a lot of people play those types of jokes around that time. Some people have even gone into grocery stores, y'all, with fake bellies. They've used like t-shirts or something to appear pregnant so that they can shoplift. Okay, people use the fake stomachs for that too. And some people just flat out, I guess, will do like skits saying that they're pregnant and so forth. Hey, dreamy girl. Hey, sis. Thank you for joining. Open. I'm gonna try to keep it cute because their girl almost had me unhinged earlier. Okay, sis. Yes, we're gonna keep it cute. Okay. And so right now, there's this growing topic of, is Miss Brianna Battles pregnant or not? Okay, that is a growing topic that a lot of people are just wondering. You know, I really had not been into it, but it seems like the topic is growing more and more and more. And I'm like, well, is she or not? I keep asking in every chat, well, is she or not? Okay, it's an alleged pregnancy or alleged not. Okay. Y'all, we got to make light of stuff. We got to have fun with stuff, okay? Because sometimes we get too serious with it, and we got to have some fun with it. And so that's been the growing conversation. even on one of my lives, during my morning lives, they were sharing some things with me because, like I said, I don't really watch them anymore. I told y'all my ending was with the divorce situation, the child custody situation, but I'm still part of this sector, it seems. I still interact with y'all. I still kind of hear things. So people were telling me about this Geritol situation. I'm like, what's Geritol? I've heard of that with old people. I didn't even know about that. Y'all had to tell me. I didn't even know what was going on with that. So then there was this infamous video where they were in a doctor's office, and she was saying something about it's a fake belly, but when I looked, it looked like a belly was there. There was a sonogram picture, so I was like, well, I think she really is. I even reached out to someone, and I tried to enlarge it because I need glasses. So I was like, let me enlarge the side view. Like I'm literally, because y'all, my mind is an investigative mind. Like I try to connect the puzzle. I try to figure things out. People say I'm like a little Inspector Gadget sometimes. So I was like, well, is it or not? So then they did I think the gender reveal or something. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just trying to generally speak of some things that I've seen. And then more recently, there was a video or a photo of her with a flat stomach holding her child. So it's still, I'm gonna still put alleged there, alleged pregnancy there, because hey, okay, it seems like it can go either way. Okay. But y'all, it is something that many women do for various reasons. Okay. Whether it is to try to keep a man. Okay, let me just tell him, and I don't know how this works when people are trying to keep a man and saying I'm pregnant, because he can see if you got something fake. Now, maybe in the beginning phases, you may could fool, that person or so forth. But in the beginning phases, some people have this feeling of, it's like what's the word I want to use? They visualize pregnancy as this optimal thing to be, not realizing what you actually have to go through during a pregnancy. Okay. It's like in their minds, it's this perfect, oh my gosh, everyone is going to spoil me. I am going to get all this extra treatment. I'm going to have this perfect human being, not realizing most of your pregnancy, you're throwing up. Okay, you're bloated, you want to sleep right and you can't. Okay, your feet swelling, you don't have the same taste buds, and it's not what you think it is. Okay, but it's a lot of different reasons that people may try to fake a pregnancy. Now, with that said, okay, before I even went through my situation, I took that lightly. Okay, I probably did an April Fool's joke or two saying that I was pregnant. However, there are people that, for one, want to actually be pregnant, okay, and cannot, whether they are single and trying to, hey, Blue Outlaw, welcome. Thank you for joining. Whether they're single and trying to start their family as a single individual, or whether they're a married couple that have been trying to get pregnant and just cannot get pregnant, okay? So you have that group. Then you have another group of people that of women that have been pregnant but may have experienced some type of miscarriage. And let me just put possible trigger warning in the chat, okay? Just in case. Okay, so you may oh man, I misspelled it. Hold on, y'all. Let me delete that because I misspelled the word and I don't like doing that. You may also have women who may have gotten to the end of their pregnancy and the baby was born and they lost their child in the midst of birth, or had a stillbirth, okay? or afterwards passed away minutes later. We even know John Legend's wife, she went through that as well. So we have that group. Okay. So there are a lot of group of women and families that are that type of situation is very sensitive to them. Okay. And yes, we can't control people's triggers and what they've been through, which is why these discussions are important. Okay. To highlight why that is not a joking matter and why it's not really funny when we're doing those things intentionally, knowing that we are not pregnant. Okay. Now, like I said, hey, it's still alleged that that person is pregnant. Miss Bree is pregnant. Okay. I'm just gonna put it out there. We've seen otherwise, okay? We've seen otherwise, okay? 1 minute the stomach flat, 1 minute is not. And it's various things you can put. As on my thumbnail, you can wear the little strap on. You can get the little stomach. So there's ways to look pregnant, okay? But it's not a joke. And the reason I say it's not a joke, 1 in 4 women, okay, have had a miscarriage. 1 in 4. So even in this chat, if we were to count 1, 2, 3, 4, at least one has probably had some type of miscarriage. Okay. So seeing that a person is playing about a pregnancy could possibly trigger that person, or a person that is dealing with infertility, okay, where they're having to really go and do the IVF treatments because they are not able to naturally conceive. Seeing that is a possible trigger, okay? Don't a woman supposed to wear maternity clothes if they're pregnant? Well, Rebecca, some do and some don't. Like some women just go up a size with the maternity clothes, but some women do. That's why I haven't spoken on this yet. But if this is fake, I'm internet. Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm just doing a pre. Okay. Because, like I say, right now it's still alleged. This is a pre conversation so that people can see the sensitivity of this type of thing and how it can potentially trigger, okay, certain groups of people. Some things are considered, funny. Oh, ha, ha, it's a skit, things like that. But some things are not entertainment. Some things are not funny and can be taken seriously. Okay. Especially when you're playing with people's emotions and people's money. Okay. So we don't know where that part is going to go quite yet. But I did want to highlight that that can be a sensitive issue. Back in 2015, my husband, and in this I wrote in my book, The Common Thread, my husband and I, we were expecting our first child. Okay. And I was around 8 weeks pregnant. And so around that time, I'm not going to get into the graphics, but went to the doctor and she said that you're on the verge of a miscarriage. So I was like, okay, what does that mean? I started getting like nervous and blah, 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 blah. Then ended up going to the hospital later on that evening, and I had lost my first baby. Okay. After that, a year later, it seemed like me and my husband, we conceived around the same time each time. It was so weird. I was always ending up pregnant around December-ish or January. I, was nervous the second time. Okay. After that, I was like, well, and let me back up. Well, no, I will say this first. Now, with this one, after you've gone through one, okay, the second one, you're a little more afraid. I try to not be as afraid, but to really use my faith. Okay. I wanted to say, okay, I'm not gonna tell everybody, you gotta get to Mel say, humble, I'm already triggered because I'm sick of right, okay. uh she said, I'm not with the foolishness. I lost one of my twins and don't think it's something to play with. Exactly. Don't do that to yourself and to others. And so I was like, you get into that safe zone. They call like the 12-week safe zone part. So I said, okay, we're gonna keep this to ourselves. We're not gonna tell anyone. Let's get to that safe zone part. So we had a gender reveal probably around 14 weeks this time. we found out we were having a boy. My husband, he was so excited. I was excited, and stuff like that. I probably would have wanted a girl. Uh, but I was excited because I've never seen my husband that excited. So we went to the doctor that following Tuesday. And I know the nurse, she was looking a little funny, not really saying too much. The doctor came in there. She said, "Okay, can I get y'all to go to another room?" So I was like, "Well, why would I do all that?" In my mind, I started getting nervous because I'm like, "Why we going to another room? Why you can't just, hey, Christina, hey, sis, welcome. I've been missing you." So we went there and they looked again, did the sonogram, and they got quiet. And I was like, something's off. So I said, "Is everything okay?" And she looked at me, the doctor looked at me, and she didn't say hardly anything for about 2 seconds. And then she said the infamous words, "I can't find the heartbeat." Okay. And y'all, I was about to lose it because this was the second time. And that day, I don't even know how I got home. I don't know how we made it through that, but God, right? And so God did restore. God blessed us. I'll go in there for a second. God blessed us the following year. It was like back to back years with my rainbow baby, as we call them, when you have conceived successfully and have a healthy baby afterwards. They call that baby the rainbow baby. And so God did restore. Okay. And so after that, y'all, well, I'll say in the midst of that, I did not realize how many women held that information in, because before I got pregnant and went through a miscarriage, I never really heard of too many women having miscarriages. I never heard of it. I've heard of my aunt back in the day, like a long time ago. My mom kind of shared that with me, and my aunt really didn't talk about it a lot. But a lot of people, it was almost like taboo to talk about that type of thing. They kept that and almost suffered in silence. It wasn't until I shared my story is when women started reaching out to me, sharing with me, "Oh my gosh, Lakeisha, I cannot believe that happened to you. Girl, I had one 2 years ago." Or, "Oh my goodness, I had one about 5 years ago." And then there was this whole community of women around me that I was able to now encourage, and they could encourage me through something that I had never been through before. There was a church not too far from me where they actually have, it's called the MEND organization. It's MEND. And this is for families that have gone through miscarriages, stillbirths, or sudden infant loss. And a friend of mine, he inboxed me because he attended that church. And he said that this is probably somewhere where you and your husband might want to go and be a part of one of their services. They're having like a walk to remember type of service. So I said, "Okay, what is this about?" So we had t-shirts made, me and my husband and a couple of our friends. We went to this event. I had never seen anything like it in my life. They actually honored, you had a section where you could put, your any baby pictures you had, or a whole table dedicated just to your baby in this big, beautiful room. So people could walk around and write little sweet messages. Then you would walk outside. They had this part set up like a stage, and they would give you Christmas ornaments. Every year was a different Christmas ornament. And they would call out each child's name, because that's something that you would never get a chance to hear their name at a graduation or so forth. And the closing part of this is where I had, I think, closure, where I didn't have the anxiety attacks and so forth. Is when everyone had balloons, and you could write a message on the balloon, and they sang like a beautiful little song. And I'll never forget when it was time to release the balloons, y'all, the sky was lit up with white, pink, and blue, like all over the sky. And I just broke off into like tears that day. But I was so happy. It was like closure, that I felt like my baby was taking his balloon to heaven. Hi, Mrs. E. Thank you for joining. And I'll never forget that. I'll never forget the community around me, the people around me that helped me through that, right? And so hearing their stories, and even seeing comments when people were playing jokes on social media, Those women did not find that funny because they had a story. They had a real story. Okay. They were really pregnant. They had really lost a child. So that's why. Okay. And a lot of people aren't privy. It's not that people are being insensitive. Some people aren't privy to those groups of people that are around. And so that's why with this situation that we're hearing about, that just stood out to me. I'm praying that it's not a joke, because you don't want to do that to yourself. And in a moment of transparency, I was watching a short video about it, and I saw when Bree had one of these dolls. And I actually remember on Facebook, y'all, the lady used to go live with those dolls. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but there was a lady that actually would go live, and she made these dolls that looked human. Okay. The eyes would kind of move and so forth. And I remember after I don't know if it was the first miscarriage or the second miscarriage, I was looking at those dolls and I almost bought one. I'm just, don't think I'm crazy, y'all. Okay. Don't call me crazy. I'm just being transparent. Okay. I almost bought one because they did look real. They did. In that moment, I was like, man, because y'all just don't realize I could not. It was before I went to that church event and had closure. Hey, Cherry, welcome, sis. Hey, Joanne, I'm trying not to miss anyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, I could not even walk in a baby department or buy one without wanting to break up into tears and start crying. Um, I just couldn't. It would be moments I would be driving and it would just hit me out of nowhere, and I would just start crying. My husband would just randomly check on me. But I did see that on live, this lady with these dolls, and I was like, they're so pretty. Maybe this could be something temporary that I could, buy and have at home. So when I saw her with the doll, it did make me think about that doll that I saw on live, that lady. And I haven't seen her in a long time. She probably does go live, but I haven't seen her lives in a long time. We never know what trauma a person is dealing with. Hey, Latoya, welcome, sis. Thank you for joining. We never know what trauma they're dealing with and what they have to use to make it through that season. I know there was a song that is called I Will. During that time between when I lost my son, that was in April, to that in October, that Walk to Remember event, there was a song called I Will that I listened to over and over and over in my car. And this song was actually written by a woman that had had a miscarriage. That song was birthed out of her through that situation. And y'all, when I tell you that song, and with the Lord first, the Lord helped me through first. That song was something I leaned on and went through my trauma. Okay. That was a traumatic experience. And hold on one second. I apologize, y'all. My son, when I tell them I'm on live, sometimes it's like, let me go in there anyway. Okay. And y'all, it's just, we never know. But it wasn't to cause any, what's the word I want to use? Not to make anyone feel bad, okay, or to condemn, I should say, anyone. I wanted to talk about it from this perspective because sometimes we just don't know certain things. We just don't know that if I am potentially faking a pregnancy, that I could be triggering others around me, okay, unknowingly, because they're not looking at this as a joke if they find out that this was really a joke. Okay. We forget about that group. So I'm speaking up on behalf of the women that have gone through that, does not find this funny, if that's what this is. Okay. And I'm still using that if loosely. Because, baby, our eyes are not crazy. I know I need some glasses. Okay. I know I need some glasses. Okay. But it's looking more and more like it's a legend. Okay. For sure or not. I'm telling y'all, we got to laugh through it. Oh my goodness. Shelly said music will help you through some things. Yes, it will. It really will. Hi, April Showers Network. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome. Hey, Ronitha. Thank you for joining. So yeah, y'all, we'll continue to watch this. But I think a lot of people have made up their minds. Okay. I've been watching the chats. A lot of y'all already feel that it's not, especially after this new recording or photo that has come out. Like I said, I have, and don't y'all chop me down. I was looking. I said, but I really couldn't get a good view because the baby was baby girl was there. I was like, give me a clear view. Look, I'm trying to hold on to all hope. Coach Sherry, thank you for joining. She said, good evening, open book and chat. I'm new to your channel. I miscarried my first and was devastated. God blessed us with 3 after, but it is hard. Great real talk topic. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Hey, I understand. I totally understand. And I'm glad that you said God blessed us with, okay, after, because God is a restorer. If that is something that you're dealing with, miscarriage, or maybe you're dealing with hey, Aries Black, hey sis, thank you for joining. I don't know if I missed you. I just saw your name. Or if you're having infertility situations, and I have some close friends, y'all, that have had infertility situations, but we believe God. One of them so far has gotten pregnant. Her baby, I think, is 2 or 3. God is able. Okay. I am a living witness. I tell people I don't argue about God with anyone because I'm evidence. Okay. I am proof that God is real and God can work a miracle. So I'm glad that you shared that, Coach Sherry. Thank you for sharing that, because there are probably others. And like I said, that's not a topic that a lot of people talk about, but it is real. And even, sometimes, because people don't talk about certain things, it could be why certain people act a certain way. Maybe they've gone through that in secret and they're trying to get pregnant, if you know what I mean. Um, or they are trying to make it happen. Maybe if I say it enough, in which by faith, yeah, we can speak a thing. You can. But we don't want to get that confused with my faith and speaking it with faking it. Okay. Like, I'm about to try to fool people ahead of time. Okay. So, but we can speak a thing and believe it, and God can bring it to pass. Okay. We don't have to go and buy stuff, put it on, all of that. We don't have to do that. Right. Yes, sis. Okay. And there's some others in the chat too, that have gone through that have spoken about that when we've done other lives. And my heart goes out to y'all. Our babies are watching over us. We have angel babies. They're watching over us. And I just thank God for each and every one of you. So yeah, I just wanted to shed light on that, bring a little humor to it because I know people are watching. It is a hot topic of discussion, so I just wanted to bring that perspective of it. If that is the case, I just hope we don't play around with that, because it's not funny. It's really not funny. But thank you all just so much for being on here tonight. Coach Sherry said it's best to share because you never know who has been through it too and can give you good advice and resources. Exactly. That is so true. So true. You never know who needs to hear your testimony because they are going through something you're probably going through. Okay. And they can tell you where they went. Like, I refer people to the MEND organization. They have virtual meetings, and if you're not in the same area, they have virtual meetings and so forth. And just talking and having a support group helps. That helped me, having other women that had gone through that were able to pour back into me. And then vice versa. When I heard of other women after me, I was able to talk to them and pour into them and encourage them. Don't give up. Keep believing God. He's going to do it in his perfect timing. Trust him. Your baby is good. Your baby is your angel now. Different things like that. It really, really helped. Blue Outlaw said, glad I could catch a live. Good stuff. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you, Shelly Shell. I love you, sis. Yes, thank you, mom of 3 in the house. I love it. I love it. And I love all of you all. Make sure you hit that like button. Thank you so much for joining. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell because you never know when I'm going to go live. I love you all. Y'all have a blessed evening. And look, eat plenty of barbecue tomorrow. Okay. If not, like we're going to do, probably go to a barbecue place. We'll just hit up one of the barbecue places, okay? And I'm going to try to give me a nap in. But I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed Labor Day. Thank you all so, so much for joining. Have a good evening. Goodbye.